All right, we are here for a special guest interview. Ace Eagerman is going to interview the legend Bill Margolin. Ace, take it away, my friend.
Okay. So, Bill, what was your favorite year of camp and why?
Your favorite year at camp? That's a good question. I have to think back on that. Probably 1970. 1970, I just got out of the Army. I came back to camp as a senior counselor. I was a color war coach. I was the head coach of color war, the Blue Gypsies. It was a nice time. I was looking forward to going back to school, finishing up college. And I think 1970 was a good time.
Okay.
Did you ask that question?
What was your favorite color war memory?
Well, I have to think now. My favorite color war memory is probably starting color war in 1971 or 72 or 73, where we were having Camp Marist come and play basketball. And I was going to referee the game. And they called both sides of the starting players out to the center court, introduced them. And I went out and I said, listen, I want a fair game. And I blew the whistle, and the Westinghouse players, the Marist players opened their jackets and said, color war is now on the jackets. That was a great opening. Another great opening was the golf course, miniature golf course. That was 1978, I think. 79. We're going to build a miniature golf course. We had the whole camp up there, and had a 1,500 team practicing down in the gym. So people said, how could color war begin if the 1,500 team is practicing down in the gym? And that part of the camp was up in the field. And a big ceremony. And Dwight Day, Phil Day was then the custodian. He had a bulldozer. He had a ceremony. We cut the ribbon for the opening of the miniature golf course. And Dwight Day went to his big bulldozer. He pulled up the shovel. Said, color war is now. At the same time, I had a van down near my own van down near the mess hall, and somebody from up the field radioed down the mess hall. My van, the color war started. So they went to the gym, and the coach who was doing the practice at the gym called the kids together in the gym, said, the color war is now, get out there. So they ran out of the mess hall at the same time, the kids running down from the fields. It's a great start. We never did a miniature golf course that year, but it's good fun.
Okay. So here's a good question that I want to ask. What would you propose if Desert War ended in a tie?
Well, I would propose, first of all, leaving it as a tie, not to have a tiebreaker. Leave it as a tie, and perhaps paint the rock half the color of what each team, and just have it as a tie.
Okay. Okay, so would you rather be a camper now or back when you were a camper?
I'd be a camper now. There's a lot more things to do. When I was a camper, they didn't have water skiing. They didn't have sailboats or canoes. Just had some wooden rowboats. Didn't have bicycles. Soccer was just beginning up. The soccer field was not in existence when I first went to camp. The baseball field wasn't as good as it was now. The fives weren't there. So I'd rather be a camper now. A lot more things going on, a lot more modernization of the buildings. Don't forget the health center's been rebuilt. The Jack Burns cabin's been rebuilt. Steve's cabin's been rebuilt. My cabin's been rebuilt. My Golden Center's there. A lot of nice facilities, good facilities, well kept up. So I'd rather be there now.
Okay. One last question for today. How did you end up at West End House Camp your first year?
Well, there was a man in good friend of the family named Sam Sands. He grew up with my mother in the West End of Boston. He was a member of the West End House. And those days, you need to have a member, your uncle or your father or your grandfather had to be a member of the West End House, or you had to belong as a kid in the West End. Well, I claimed him as I always called him Uncle Sam. He's a nice guy, and he claimed me as his nephew. And he sponsored me to camp in 1958 for 3 weeks. So that's how I ended up at camp in 1958. And then I came for the full summer, the following summer, for 7 weeks. In 1960, I came to CIT. So I stayed. I've been there every year except for the late 60s. I was in the service. That's how I came to camp.
Okay.
I'm grateful to Sam Sands for that.
Okay. Well, thank you for letting me interview you.
Appreciate it.